right.
So,
All right. Well, we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna get into the quotes. So, what quotes you got for us this week, Miss Knowledge? I still can't find my pen. I just
eh,
had it.
okay, let's
Oh well. Oh, there you go. All right. What you
quotes.
got for us?
Anybody out there? Y'all listening? Anybody? I got some quotes. Wait a minute.
Oh.
All right, ready? First quote.
Yep.
Let's go straight to it. Um, if that was Schumer instead of this dumb son of a bitch, Mitch McConnell, they would never have accepted the Electoral College.
Hmm.
I don't know. Is there anyone in the chat? Are they
Yeah. Chat's going. Chat is on fire.
okay?
So read that. Read that back one more time. Read that back one more
Okay.
time.
If that was Schumer instead of this dumb son of a bitch, Mitch McConnell, they would never have accepted the Electoral College.
Hmm.
If that was Schumer instead of this SOB, Mitch McConnell, they would have never accepted the Electoral College. I gotta
This
jump
was
back in.
Schumer and not Mitch McConnell. Hmm. You got me on
Somebody's
that
got to
one.
know that out there. Somebody,
You
come
got me
on.
on that one. You
No,
got me on that one.
is that a joke? Or are you just giving them time? Or you really don't know? Really? Okay.
I'm thinking like I'm drawing a blank here. If that
If
was
if that was Schumer instead of this dumb SOB Mitch McConnell, they would have never accepted the Electoral College.
yo, I'm really drawing a blank. Okay, I'm gonna make a guess. I'm gonna make a guess.
A hint? Y'all need a hint with this? Okay. He was orange.
Was it the Orange Agent? Hint, hint.
Yeah, Trump. It was Trump.
The Orange Agent himself.
Okay. Here's a good one. This is a good Trump. This is a good one. They can order a pizza. They can order Grubhub or Uber Eats.
They can order Grubhub. They can order Uber
Pizza
Eats,
or Uber
pizza,
Eats.
or Uber Eats.
I'll give you context clue. This was in reference to uh, the Georgia bill.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have to go with infinite content on this one. Um,
Terry Crews.
you know, yo,
Shell said Terry Crews.
who is that?
Oh, they can order a pizza. They can order Grubhub or Uber Eats.
I'm gonna go with again infinite content. Trump. Did Trump say that?
No, he didn't.
Ah, unless he was answering the last question.
He may have been.
That might have been for the last question.
Right. Right. They may be behind. They can order
Hmm.
pizza, they can order Grubhub or Uber Eats relative
Hmm.
to the Georgia bill that Infinite got it. He
Kim.
guessed,
Yes.
yeah.
See, that's why. Yo, we got some of the smartest people in the
Yeah,
world.
it was Kim.
Yo, let's go. Let's go.
Okay, y'all ready for the next one? Oh, Marco Rubio, that is a good guess. That is a good guess. Matt Gaetz is a good guess as well. Oh, these are good guesses. Huh. All right, next. I would not run if President Trump ran. I would talk to him about it. This is
I
about
would
running.
not.
This is about running for presidency. I would not run if President Trump ran.
Hmm. I
This
would
was in the
not
news
run
this week.
if
The news.
President Trump ran.
Yes.
Um,
A woman, Republican.
Nikki Haley.
Yeah. They're behind. I bet they're gonna start guessing right now.
I'm sorry, my pen broke, and now I'm just
Yeah. See, they're guessing Haley. Oh, Sally Gates. That would have been good. No, it was Republican. Kanye. Kanye. These are some good guess. Oh my gosh, this is great. Haley, yeah, Margie Taylor Greene. That's a good guess too. These are great guess. Oh my god, wow.
And all these people would definitely say that.
They're way behind. There's a big lag now. Let's see. Okay, I'm a conservative Republican, but I am not crazy.
I'm a conservative. Why just
don't say it. Give them a minute because I think they're way behind.
I think I know this one. I think I know this one, and I'm gonna wait. You're right. I'm gonna wait. Let us know what y'all think it is. Repeat it one more time so they know what the question is, what the quote is.
I am a conservative Republican, but I am not crazy. GOP candidates.
Right?
Right. No. Ted Cruz, that is a good guess. No. He is not a part of the Senate or the House. Not Trump. Trump is crazy. Would he say he's not crazy? I don't know. Maybe he would.
He would say he has a smart brain.
Right.
I have a big brain. That's what he would say.
Right. I am a conservative Republican, but I am not crazy.
I mean, the person is crazy for saying that, for thinking that. Like, what? Come on, man.
George Bush? Oh, wow. That is a good guess. They're so behind. Okay, I'm going to give a hint. You're going to know this. Okay, he just came out with a book. He came out with a book. Is that who you were thinking about? No. He was a former Speaker of the House.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Let's see if they know.
I know.
Judge Cahill. I don't even know who that is. Should I? Kemp? No. They didn't get my hint yet, I believe.
Tell them the hint.
Oh, Banner. Who Banner? Oh, Boehner. Yes, Boehner. Yeah. John Boehner. I'm like, Banner? Steve Bannon? Like
Banner?
Steve Bannon? Yes, Boehner.
You don't like me when I'm angry.
Yeah, John Boehner. Ooh, Spicer. Yeah. That was good. John Boehner. I don't think Spicer was ever the Speaker of the House.
He was the
Chief of Staff,
press secretary.
Press secretary, right. Right, that was the press secretary. Okay.
I wonder what he's been doing. Like, I don't know. That was
I know Spicer, right? Maybe on Dancing with the Stars or something. I don't know. Hold on. I think. Oh, here's a good one. AOC, I'd like to challenge you to a debate on the Green New Deal. I have a degree in economics.
Well, I had somebody in mind, but when you said you have a degree in economics, that person went out the window. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to just say it anyway, Candace Owens.
No, give them a chance, but that is incorrect. Give them a chance. They're way behind. They're still talking about Spicer. Like, it's so behind.
It's the connections.
Yeah, I wonder why. Because
everybody's on right now.
Yeah, everyone's on. Our connection seems like it's okay because but they are way behind. Tommy Lahren.
Not Benny Shapiro.
Oh, Lindsey Graham. That's a good guess. I don't know if Lindsey would want to challenge anybody to a debate, though. Just think about that. It's a woman.
He would call him. He would be like, "Hey, Meemaw,
Right.
Meemaw."
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I like to challenge you to a debate on the Green New Deal. I have a degree in economics. This person, let's see, she speaks to lizards.
Whoa. She's a lit. Like, wow. Okay. That's a hint I wasn't expecting.
You don't know who that
Speaks
is?
to lizards.
Yeah.
I mean, I have one person in mind. Wow.
No,
I
not
Is
Liz
that real? Is
Cheney.
that a real hint? Is that for
Yeah.
real? Like, she
She,
speaks to lizards.
well, okay. Okay. She thinks they're lizard people. Same
I mean,
thing. Isn't that
it
the
is, but
same
that's
thing?
wild. It is. It is.
Yes, green. Infinite content got it.
Oh man.
It's it
Oh.
it's green.
Even if you didn't say lizard people, the fact that you said speaks to lizards, that's who I was thinking. Like, yeah, I could see her doing that. Like, she could.
Right?
Hey, this
Exa-
is.
exactly. Exactly. Oh, I wish it was. Someone said Stacy. John said Stacy Dash.
Yo, the
Oh
Alaska
God.
woman.
Oh
I
wait.
think it's talking
So
about
so
blackberries.
those are
How could this
guesses.
go?
Wait, so those are guesses from the last one? Why are we so far behind?
No, no, these are the guesses for what you were just asking.
Oh.
The Alaska woman is what was Sarah Palin. I think that's who they're talking about
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
say the Alaskan woman, or the Yeti. I mean, either one. I don't know.
I don't know because they look like they're real behind, like really behind, and I don't know how to not have them behind.
You guys gotta tell them to keep up.
Bob, like what's going on here?
Keep up.
Okay,
That's
let's
all you
keep
gotta do.
let's wrap it up so that it won't matter if they're behind or not. Okay, last one. Pack for the long haul and hope for the short.
Pack
Oh no,
for the long.
pack for the long, hope for the short. That's the quote. I am sorry. Pack for the
Mm,
long, hope for the short.
that's a good one. I'm
I'm
might be a
gonna.
little stumped.
Ah, yes, judge in the Chauvin trial. You guys are not that far behind, or you have caught up. Yes,
Boom.
that was the judge in the Chauvin trial. Yeah, very
Nice.
good. Yay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Michelle P. Yeah.
That is awesome. Those were the quotes brought to you by Lana Quest. Do not come for me. They were not exact quotes.
Real quick, did Glenn Rice and Palin have a thing?
Wait,
I don't
wait,
think so.
who is Glenn Rice? A baseball player? Who is that?
Basketball player.
Basketball. Okay. I'm like, what? Sarah
I don't
Palin.
know.
Ooh.
That's
Infinite, what you talking about here?
I never heard that. That's why I had to ask real quick. Like, wait, hold up. That's the new one.
Oh, Judge Cahill's the judge. I've been watching that whole trial and did not know that man's name was
I
Cahill. I've watched every day of that trial since it
I would call
started.
him Judge Man.
It was just Judge. Like I never thought. I know I looked up the prosecutors' names. Jerry Blackwell is my favorite. But I never thought about the
This is why
judge.
we got some. This is why we got some of the best
Yeah,
guests, best viewers
they
on
teach us
YouTube.
so
Period.
much.
That's why you guys rock, and we got to get
Right.
those shirts out to the usual suspects, man.
Yeah.
It's long overdue. We definitely got to get that out there too, because
Right.
they deserve. It.
Yeah.
They deserve. It. Not
Yeah.
us, y'all. Y'all deserve.
Yeah, they do. So
It.
those
What
were
you
my
got for the
quotes.
topics?
So, this week the defense, matter of fact, no, today the defense rested in the Chauvin trial. If you guys have not watched, it was quite crazy this week. This week was the defense witnesses. So it was nothing like the prosecution. So the prosecution, those witnesses were world renowned. You know what I mean? Like the pulmonologist wrote a book on pulmonology that they call the Bible. Like other
Mm-hmm.
pulmonologists, right? The cardiologist is world renowned. Like they were all experts in their field and knew it. They came with like not only like the diagrams, but you saw how they had like Chauvin, like the how it was made
The
to look
computer
like him.
rendering.
Oh yeah, that stuff was okay. And here comes the defense. Um, uh, I know that this is not a laughing matter, but it was actually kind of laughable who he had on the stand. So I think he had, I don't remember the first one, but I do remember the woman that was in the car with Mr. Floyd. I don't know her name, Shaquana, maybe. And no
Mm-hmm.
shade, I think that's really her name. She didn't have no time for that. She didn't want to be there. She was straightening up her wig on there. Um, she was not a good witness. They actually had also, oh, wow, this was interesting. So they called this is the defense, a police officer that had arrested Floyd previously, like
Mm-hmm.
years prior, and they showed a video of that arrest. I'm not sure what they were trying to prove, like that he has a record, maybe, but all it proved was that this guy was able to arrest George Floyd without killing him. Like, that's exactly what it proved. George again saying, sorry, officer, sorry, sir, and didn't really want to go, but ended up going and he wasn't
Mm-hmm.
murdered. So, like, that's what that proved. Um, but, what they're trying to do is literally look for doubt. You know what I mean? They just want to sow doubt. They just need one juror. I guess they saved the best for last, which was the former medical examiner who's actually being sued
Mm.
for oh gosh, what was usual suspects. Remind me the case because I can't remember the case, but it is a well-known case. Black Antoine Black. Anton Black, I think it is. It's a Maryland case. He is being accused of helping the police cover up. It's a similar case to Floyd's,
Mm-hmm.
helping them cover up their crime.
Wow.
So he's being sued by the family right now. But
Wow.
the jury can't know that. That can't come up. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's who this guy was. Like he sucked. He was citing all kinds of sources, but didn't come with any like nothing. He came with
He didn't have
nothing
no
but
notes.
no notes, but he's citing other people. I'm like, isn't that like hearsay? He's literally talking about this stuff. And then when the prosecution comes up, the sources that he was citing had been discredited.
Wow.
Discredited by the author. Said, oh no, don't pay attention to that. That's not what it was insane. But so that wrapped up. On Monday, I believe the jury is going to get their jury instructions. They're going to be sequestered. They haven't been sequestered thus far. So they've been able to go home, just
Mm-hmm.
not supposed to watch TV. I don't know how they do that,
Yeah.
but now they're about to get sequestered. So that's where that quote came from because he told them to
Now,
pack a
what about
bag.
closing argument?
Did we? That was not today. I didn't hear that. So maybe that's
That might. Well, I think that might be Monday. The closing arguments, and
yeah,
then.
because I think today was like the rebuttal, and the
Mm-hmm.
defense just said we don't have any more. I mean, if that last guy was their best guy, I mean,
Yeah.
the video was the star of this case. Like that video is going to tell you, and even the prosecutor, Jerry Blackwell, that black guy, he got that medical examiner. He wasn't even the medical examiner that did the examination. He's just some random that was paid $11,000. He got him to admit, you know, would George Floyd have lived if first aid had been rendered? Do you think he would have had a chance to live? And like, he didn't want to say it, but he had to say, like, as
Mm-hmm.
a medical doctor, I have to say yes. He had to say it. I'm like, wow, this guy is good. Like he had to say it. So yeah, that was Pretty interesting. Let's
It's looking like we might. There might. I mean, we have to. Of course, closing arguments, and whatnot. But from the evidence that we've seen over these past couple weeks, the testimony, again, like you were saying, the experts. He needs to go to jail. He needs to be convicted on all accounts.
right.
He needs to be held accountable. This, along with New York getting rid of police, what is it?
Immunity.
Immunity.
That yeah, that qualified immunity.
Hopefully, yeah, qualified immunity. Hopefully, these two, big decisions, has meaning across this country because,
Right.
myself, I know you, some of our viewers, and of
Right.
course the people across this country and the people who have firsthand experience with police brutality are tired.
Right.
We need these cops, like every other professional industry, need to be held accountable. Doctors, they're held to a high standard.
Right.
With malpractice suits, lawyers are held to a higher standard. If they don't do their job, they get disbarred.
Right.
Same thing with judges. If they're not, holding up the standards and having a fair mind, they'll get, what is it, disrobed, or however, they'll lose their job.
Right.
But with cops,
Right.
it's they can shoot innocent people and say, I fear for my life, and that is it, and they get to just walk. So hopefully the jury, the prosecution, in my eyes, seemed like their case was airtight. They had the right people. They stated their case. They pled the argument.
Right.
And he needs to go to jail.
Right.
I'll say it again.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, I do not condone violence. I do not condone any of that, because that's not me. That's not what I want to represent. But if he doesn't get convicted, it's going to be chaos.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So blatant. It's in your face. Even with, I hate
but
to
it
bring
only
up
takes
this,
one.
Eric Gardner.
One.
Yeah.
It just takes one racist. But even as a racist, like, you can't deny what you're seeing, and you are seeing 9 minutes and 29 seconds, and he just never got off. Like, and even when he was unconscious, you still continued. So you didn't render aid. You see, the defense, they had so many things. It's the carbon monoxide. The crowd was distracting. They blamed it on everyone except for the man that did it. It's like the mob. It's like 12 people and 6 are children. Like, how are they distracting you? You're a cop. How are they? And then they tried to, but that's here's the other part. So the defense had a park police guy who wants to be a cop, like, testify for them, and his video on his body cam, because he came to the scene. I don't remember how he got there, but whatever the case is, they had him watch George Floyd's car. So they showed that whole video. It was like 10 minutes of him talking to Shaquana, or whatever her name is, and the other guy that George Floyd was giving a ride to. Mm-hmm. And you keep asking yourself, well, if the crowd was so angry, where's the backup? Like, none of it makes sense. And these are the arguments that they're going to have the jury. You know what I mean? Like, where everything can be disproven. Okay, so where's the mob? They never called for backup. Okay, well, after he was unconscious, why didn't you take your knee off? The knee didn't come off until EMS. Your own partner said, hey, should we turn him on the side? You said, nah. Like, what? At what point? What was going on? What's going on? So anyway, that's happening. Hope for the best, everyone. Say some prayers this weekend. The jury will be deliberating next week. So next I want to talk about real quick. This in line with the thing we got going on about police and how they have just been operating under this immunity, covering everything up, committing crimes. This one happened in Boston. So it's recently been discovered that the head of the Boston Police Union is a child molester. So 25 years ago, apparently he was molesting children. His name is Patrick Rose, because we need to put his name out there, Patrick Rose Sr. He was arrested this past summer, so they've been keeping this under wraps. We just found out about this. So Patrick Rose is a former Boston cop. He rose to be the head of the police union. He now faces 33 charges of sexual abuse of 6 minors ages 7 to 16. He was arrested last summer when the city learned of the allegations. Well, they didn't really just learn, because the city already knew. Because 25 years ago, there was a criminal complaint filed. He was investigated by Internal Affairs. They found him guilty of it, but they let him keep the job. They just swept it under. No one talked about it. So now you have to ask yourself, what did our last mayor know? Because he didn't say anything about it. What did the mayor before him know? He didn't say anything about it. No one said anything. Like, y'all didn't know this? There was no rumblings? Like, maybe it was buried that deep. I mean, I guess if you just pop up on a job, how would you know unless someone told you?
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
that's that.
Right.
Well, real quick, that's that
right.
blue wall of silence.
Right.
You know,
right.
They talk about, I don't know if you remember a couple years ago where the Stop Snitching shirts came out. And that was a big deal in schools and parents and police officers, like, don't wear that shirt.
Right.
In a couple cases, we actually reported on it. At the time, a couple of students actually got like suspended from school over the shirt, and there was a big uproar and hoopla and this, that, and the third. But yet we have this situation where a cop was molesting children.
Right.
And he
children.
Still kept his job.
Molesters. So I guess cops have their own thing called the Law Enforcement Officers Bill of Rights, where that is the thing where they don't snitch on each other. And I guess this is what they say help them cover up the Freddie Gray case in Baltimore. This is what they used, because no cops spoke for 10 days about it while they got their lies and shit straight. Yeah. I do have hope. Maybe I'm just someone who tries to keep hope, So 2021, it seems like we're closer than we have ever been to starting to break these walls down. In the Floyd case, we did have his supervisor, shift supervisor, captain of the department. We had all these cops testify against Chauvin. You know what I mean? So like that's really doesn't happen. Just now, I forgot to tell it in the quick news. Corlin Horner, I think her name is. Sorry, I may be wrong. She was fired in 2006, a Black woman, for intervening while her white partner was doing a chokehold on someone. She intervened and got fired. She is just now receiving her pension and back pay. That means that maybe things are starting to change a little bit. And it's like, maybe if more police see like, okay, she is now being repaid, maybe now I can say something for fear that I won't be fired, that I won't lose my pension, right? Because if people are suing and getting their money now, maybe things are starting to change. There is becoming more diverse in the upper ranks too. So that helps. That's why they were trying to keep us out the whole time, right?
Diversity is an awesome thing.
Right.
Having people with different backgrounds and different experiences
right
will help, especially when you're dealing with law enforcement. because law enforcement is systematically structured to keep Black and brown people down. That's just a fact.
Right.
And if you want to combat that, having Black and brown people that know the area, know the people, helps.
Right.
Because if they know the person and then the situation is intense, because that police officer, because he's Black and brown, because he's from that community, just so happens to know this person.
Right.
Let's talk.
Right.
Let's calm the situation. But if you have someone not from the community,
right,
a white cop who's not used to, interacting with Black and brown people, who's not used to just the culture,
right,
understanding the different nuances, the way we talk, our body structure, because somebody could be like this all day.
Right. Right.
And you or me will not perceive that as
right.
threatening.
Right.
Because we know that's just how they talk.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? That they're mad.
Right.
They're doing all of this.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a white cop who sees all of that,
right?
Oh, he's threatening me. I'm scared. Like, nah, he's just talking. you
right.
know?
Right. So or a Black cop who's not from the hood, right? So, yeah. and I know you're not from here originally, but I don't know if you know that in Boston or Massachusetts, you have to live in the community that you police for, I think, 10 years. Even like the fire department, you have to live in the community that you're serving. And that's not in every state. And I think that, Boston and Massachusetts isn't the perfect place, but you also don't see a lot of unarmed shooting of Black men here. I know there's a couple, but those have been a little questionable as well, like guns being involved and stuff like that. But so you don't hear like Minnesota, Colorado, like you just don't hear that here a lot.
We have those racist cops, but
right, of course we do.
That level of what you may see down south because of what you're saying, because they have to live where they,
right. So we don't
where they're going to work at.
Right, because you're going to have racist cops, but there are also, as we see, coming out of Chauvin, like in the hood over there. When you come out, we park over there, and you drive up. You see, like the Asian cop in the hood, the white cop, and they're on bikes and they're talking to the people. They know the people of the hood. So if Harry I don't know, Marcus is like, yo man, they ain't threatened because they know that's just how he get down. Like they know that's how he is because they're in it. So yeah, that's a good point. So move on so you can get your stuff in. My last thing, speaking of systemic racism, systemic oppression, I wanted to RIP DMX, rest in power to the legend. I also just wanted to give a little bit of his background because that does go in line with the other part of like systemic oppression and racism. Like the police brutality comes with it, but there's another part of systemic oppression. It's the poverty, it's the crack, it's all those things that you live with, those demons sometimes come from the hood. It's like post-traumatic stress when you're living through that. So let's just talk a little bit about Earl Simmons, because that is his name. He was born December 18th, 1970. Yes, he passed away April 9th, 2021. If anyone out there does not know Earl Simmons, also known as DMX, he is or was a rapper, songwriter, and an actor. He did have a brutal childhood. He started smoking crack at 14. His parents were teenagers. His dad did not want him. Thus, he separated from the family. His mom probably had a drug addiction as well. She couldn't handle children, so she dropped him off at a home for abandoned kids and left him there. Yeah, well, even before she did that, she was beating on him. Her boyfriends were beating on him. He had his teeth knocked out. If you saw like bruises on his face, like cuts and stuff, that's from the beatings that he got when he was a kid. Those scars on his face were from beatings that he got. So she left him at that home. he ran away from that home. He lived on the street, and the dogs were stray dogs. He befriended the stray dogs.
Mhm.
That's
That's how
probably
he
why.
came up. That's
Yeah.
why he always had the dog in his videos.
Yeah. Yeah. Those were his friends. So, long story short, they picked him up from the street, put him back in the home, and he did begin to get some friends and hooked up with like some other rappers and formed a group. And, he started on his way to hip hop. And the interesting
Mhm.
thing about DMX is it's like no matter all the issues that he had, he had demons, you still felt for him, right? Like he was still
Yeah.
just so human, like not just talented because of his body of work and how he paved the path for all these young rappers, but he was so human because you knew all the time where he was coming from because he always told you, and you always knew that he was struggling, and you always knew that he wanted the help in and out of rehab. He would sing it in his songs. Like he had some lyrics. I really need you, Lord. Since the last time we talked, the walk has been hard. I know you haven't left me, but I feel alone. Devil, I rebuke you for what I go through. Been trying to make me do what I used to. Like that's someone who's just struggling with so much pain.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's just what made him so big. He's never hidden his pain. He's always lived with his demons. And I think like him living out his demons helped a lot of people deal with their demons because they saw what he
Mhm.
was going through, and it helped them. And he actually said on an interview, the reason my fans love me is I bear my soul. I'm not ashamed to cry. I'm not ashamed to hurt. So in closing, DMX is not defined by how he died, but how he lived. Yeah. So
Mhm.
rest in power, DMX. And that's it.
Yeah. I have to. I mean, I can't add to that because that was just so beautiful and all that. My thoughts about X. I just have to kind of co-sign everything you just said. He was people loved him and respected him because he was so open. Because he he was the regular guy on the street that everybody know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he was that dude. Like there's always that one person, no matter what hood you are, no matter what state you're in, no matter where you come from, where it's like everybody know him. He's a wild one, but
Right.
everybody love him because it's just like that's he that's he's a part of everybody. Like everybody got that part of them, regardless if you're conservative or not. Everybody has that rebellious, just you want to
And
like
you have him in your family. Who doesn't
yeah,
have a DMX in their family? Who doesn't have him as an uncle, a crazy uncle
right.
that may be on drugs or an alcohol and just crazy, like, and going to a restaurant and be like, what you got? No, you know what? I'm going to go and cook my own eggs and just go on back there at IHOP and start frying up food. Like, that's how he was, that's how he lived. So he's definitely going to be missed on this earth because although he was crazy, he was loved, man. So,
Yeah,
wow.
and he fought the battles that we all face, that we all
Right.
fight,
Right.
and because he wasn't, like you said, he wasn't ashamed of it, he wasn't shy about it. He was able to express that, and
Right.
people who were going through those maybe not same situations but similar,
Right.
or who was just down, he was there, to give him inspiration. Like a lot of people in the comments saying he was an inspirational man.
Yeah.
He impacted a lot of people, and hearing some of the stories um, about him. The other thing that people really respected was he tried to help everybody. Like
Right.
even despite his demons and the situations that he got himself in, or just in general, like when we all hear like, oh yeah, DMX, just got locked up in Arizona or something like that. Like even through all of that, he would try to help out the next man.
Right.
He wasn't
Right.
flashy. He wasn't about the
Right.
Jews, which he could have been. He
Right.
had the money. He could have been blinked out, had the illest ride, but that wasn't him. He was the regular dude on the corner that
He well
everybody know.
he did need to save his money for some drugs.
Well, he needed,
No
but he
shade. It's just real.
yeah,
It's real. It's real.
was the man. Like
Yeah.
he was definitely talented. He had crazy hits, whether it's
Yeah.
his album or with the Locks or
Right.
one of my joints he did was with Crisco, aka Cisco. You know what I'm saying? What they
Oh my
really
God. Yeah.
want. Like
Oh
excellent the
my
man.
God.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And his music is timeless, and hopefully. Um, his family. I know his friends and colleagues will definitely keep his spirit alive. So, thank you for that. And X man, he's gonna be missed, bro. He's
Yeah.
X,
Yeah.
yo. But with
What
that
you
being
got?
said,
What you got?
what we got? So, we're gonna kind of close out the show with a couple of things. So, um, I don't want to talk about it, but it definitely has to be talked about. But yeah, so unfortunately, we had another police shooting a couple days ago, um, and the victim's name is Daunte Wright. That whole situation is so unfortunate. Um, if you haven't heard, the gentleman by the name of Daunte Wright was shot one time um, during I won't even say routine police stop because
Right.
they're claiming he had warrants out for him, so it wasn't a routine traffic stop because I've heard some outlets call it that. Nothing about this was routine. It's routine as somebody getting shot when the cops pull him over or a person over,
Right.
but this was not a routine stop. It's so unfortunate. Um, the person that shot him, Kim Porter,
Potter.
26. God damn it. And I'm looking right at her name. Kim Potter.
Kim Porter. Oh man,
Porter.
Kim
Porter.
Porter
Kim
was
Porter.
who was Kim Porter?
I'm
Was
thinking
that
of the. I'm
Puffy's?
thinking of the.
She didn't she pass away? Wasn't that
Yeah,
Puffy's? Yeah,
that was Puffy.
babies.
Puffy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Kim Potter. 26-year veteran. She said she loved her job. But we just had a tragic situation. This happened in Minnesota, not far from where the George Floyd situation happened, and not far from where the actual trial's being held. This happened in Dorchester Center or Brooklyn Center,
Brooklyn Center. Yeah.
in the Minnesota area. Um, it's just sad. It's sad. How I seen the video. I'll make sure to have links to the article after the show. But it's just so sad to see this again. Um, a veteran, you should know the difference between a gun and a taser. I know this debate has been going online.
26 years. 26
26 years.
year veteran.
You should
26 year
know.
veteran.
You should know better.
And she
Um,
trained that day.
like you should know better. So it's unfortunate that happened. She did get arrested. She's being held on second-degree manslaughter charges. Um, she sent in her resignation the same day. Thankfully, the mayor did not accept her resignation, but she did. She did get arrested. She is being held. We'll have more updates as
She
that.
is getting her pension. So, right, he
She's
did.
still getting her pension.
Yeah, and so it's being updated. He probably held her resignation because he wasn't sure if he could fire her and whatever. But remember, this woman is the head of the union. She too is the
Oh
head of the
yeah, so
union,
she
right?
she
She knew what she was doing, and it probably legally they had to accept her resignation, and then she gets her pension.
wow,
Yeah.
wow. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I am for unions. Unions are awesome, but the police union is
I know.
not. It is not. Um, Unions are for labor work. People like us, people, working 9 to 5s.
Right.
Like corporations take advantage of their workers,
Right.
having them work mad hours for
Right.
low pay. Um, so for labor unions, for instance, like Amazon, which I'll get into later on, you know, that's where unions are effective.
Right.
You want higher wages. You're making a company billions and billions of dollars. The CEO is one of the richest people in the world. Why don't you have the best benefits? Why don't you have the most, like, if you're working at Amazon, you should be making bank.
Right. Right.
People should
You
be
would think.
jealous. Like,
Right.
yo,
Mm-hmm.
people should be jealous. But
Right.
this is why unions are important. Police unions, all they do is protect corrupt
Cover
cops.
up. Right.
They cover up shit.
Yeah.
Police unions aren't the same as labor unions. Labor unions help the worker,
Right.
for safe work environments, for higher wages,
Right.
better better benefits. Like that's what we need, especially if a company's making billions of dollars. But the police union is only there for cover ups and to protect corrupt cops.
Right.
Think about all the police shootings that has happened that you can think of. Why hasn't any of these cops been held accountable? Because of police unions. And what was the thing that New York just got away?
Oh, the immunity. But you
Yeah.
guess who got held accountable? A black cop. I don't know if this
Oh
was in.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah. He
that's
got
right. The black cop that shot the Australian lady.
by accident. Right. Because she called you're right. She called the police. And then when she went, they thought she was suspect or something. I don't know. But
She banged on the back of the car, and the officer got scared, turned around and shot.
which is crazy. Like you just turn and shoot. Like what? But again, he goes to jail. I think he's serving a 12-year sentence.
Yep, he's still in jail right now. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, so I'll have links to the article where you can get more information about that. Um, Another tragic story. Well, not a tragic story, but an unfortunate story. An army lieutenant was pepper sprayed during a traffic stop. Um, why? They said he didn't have his license plate, but he had the paper license plate in the window. Now, I'm not sure how their laws work when it comes to that, but I thought you had at least, 10 days. Because the only reason why you would have a paper license plate is if you just bought a new car, or
And
whether.
Yeah, but they didn't know. That's the point. They didn't know any of that. Like he didn't even have a chance to show anything before the man is like
Yeah.
with the
They
maid.
just started shaking and looking at him like, yeah, I'm about to get you.
Right.
You
After he
should be
did
scared.
right, exactly. After you didn't had a gun in his face and now you just I mean, he sprayed it and then went back and shit some more. I'm like, whoa, Opie, what's going on here? But just like
I like that.
just like we talked about earlier, right? He saw a black man in uniform and he had to be bigger because that black man made him feel like he was nothing. So like he just had to be top, like he had to be.
Yeah.
He just had to be. You gonna find out. You don't want to go there. Like what? Oh,
It's pride.
that Goma pile.
Yeah, we were talking about before the show about Derek Chauvin's situation. It's pride.
Right.
Like I honestly felt that during that video there was a quick moment where he realized what he was doing was wrong. But that white mentality was, you're not going to tell me what to do. One, I'm a police officer. Two, I'm a white guy. Like that, you're not gonna instruct and inform me on how to do my job. And he doubled down. He was like, no, you're not gonna tell me to get up.
Right.
I'm gonna put my hand in my pocket. I'm gonna look at you crazy, and I'm gonna stay here for another however long until the paramedics. Like,
yeah, but wait. Remember, before he even called the paramedics, right? So before they got to a place of Mr. Floyd needing the paramedics, what was the end game? Because that is what I asked my friends. Like, what
Mm-hmm.
was the end game here? So he had his knee on him after the first minute, after the second minute, after the third minute. What's the end game? Because you're
Mm-hmm.
not picking him up to put him in the vehicle. You're not turning him to the side. You didn't call for backup. You're not calling for like, what are we doing? Like, no one was asking, like, well, what are we gonna do here? Like, okay, we've been here for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. We still, what is the end game? Like, what if after 9 minutes and 29 seconds, Mr. Floyd did not die? Was he gonna be there for like, what if it took 15 minutes for him to die? Would he
Mm-hmm.
had his knee on his neck for 15 minutes? What was this man's
He,
end
he he
game?
he 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 was doubling down.
It was
All these factors
crazy.
are in play right now. Like everything you said is true. When were you gonna stop? When? You can't answer that because I don't think he wanted to stop.
Oh my
Like he was
goodness.
just he doubled down. People are like, dude, the man can't breathe. Like he's saying like it's just I don't even know.
Baffling.
I'm sorry. It's
It's
baffling.
it's
It's baffling.
baffling. It really
It's
is.
baffling. But that power structure that
Mm-hmm.
I am in control of you and you are going to do exactly what I say.
Mm-hmm.
And this cop, like you said, he seen and he even asked him, what's your ranking? And he told him and like, dude, I'm higher ranking than you.
Right.
Like I'm a lieutenant, you're just a regular police officer.
What is your
And
ranking?
but
Like what?
he wanted to like that's he wanted to flex his muscle. He
Right.
wanted to flex. He wanted to have control, and I've heard this before. He wanted to drive to a well lit area.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
If he just pulled over,
Right.
like they could have said anything. He had the right mind to be like, all right, let me pull over. Let me go to this gas station. Because if not, they could say anything and anything can happen. And that's exactly what happened.
Right.
They took it to the next level.
Right.
you know, like I wanted to know why they pull him over. Like he was at why y'all pulling me over. They
Right.
didn't say nothing.
And he had his flashers on. So not only did he go an extra mile, he put on his flashing lights to let them know, like, I'm not trying to race away. You know what I mean? So why so what happened too is that Opie called it in as like a felony call or felony stop. He
Mm-hmm.
lied because they turned around and said it wasn't a felony stop, and he came out guns a blazing because he was pissed that he had to drive, a little more up the road. I bet if that was a white man behind that wheel, he would have been like, "Hey, sir, how you doing this evening? Your
Yeah,
plates aren't."
it
Yeah,
wouldn't even have been nothing.
yeah,
It wouldn't have been nothing. It's I'm just tired. I really am. I know I say it every week, but it's true. I'm tired.
right,
It's getting frustrating. It
yeah.
really is. Week after week, day after day. Waking up, Twitter feed ablaze. Another video on
Yeah,
YouTube or on Facebook. Like
yeah,
it's just sick. It's sick. But again, this goes to bring it home because I'm about to close out the show. But to bring it home, this is why your local elections matter. This is
right,
why making sure you know who your DA is very, very important. Why?
right,
Because the DA is a person or man or woman who's going to hold these cops accountable, who's going to be like, you know what? That officer, those officers, what you did was inhumane
right,
and you need to be held accountable. You either injured somebody, majority of the time you killed somebody, and you need to be held
right,
accountable for that. And having the right DA and voting local guarantees that,
right,
especially when it's somebody that represents people that says they're going to fight for you. They're not going to back down and be beholden to these police unions because, unfortunately, police unions have a lot of power when it comes to local
right,
elections. Whether it's the mayor, whether it's the DA, shit, the governor, they have
right,
a lot of power. They do, and you need someone that's on your side that's going to look at that and say, you know what, bring it. I'm not going to back down. I don't represent you. I represent the people. You didn't vote for me.
Right.
That's why these local elections matter. That's why making sure you know who's running matter.
Right.
And we're here to help. We're here to help guide you through that. So with that being said, I'm about to close out my last couple, actually my last topic. This is just a quick update about the Amazon vote down in Alabama. Bessemer, is that how you say it? Bessemer?
Well,
Bessemer?
I've never heard of that town. Bessemer. I mean,
Bessemer?
Alabama's humongous, so so many. I don't know.
It's the Amazon plant in Alabama. That's Bessemer, Alabama.
Sure.
Y'all know I'm horrible with names. But anyway, unfortunately, Amazon, they won this first round. They did not win the vote to unionize. It was like 700 to 1798. So basically almost 1,000 more votes for not joining the union. But it's starting to come out that Amazon broke laws. They broke more laws during this particular time than they have in general. They spent over $1 million to hire someone to basically intimidate the workers to not unionize.
Wow.
It's so unfortunate. And I'll make sure I have links to these articles. But from what I've seen, a lot of the people on the ground, they're not deterred. They're actually happy. They're like, yo, this is a step in the right direction. Amazon, unfortunately got their evil tactics out faster than the people on the ground could really organize and get their message out. But they had Nina Turner that went down there. They had Bernie Sanders, AOC. I think Jamal Warnock went out there to represent the people. So the fight's still going. This isn't over. Like I said before, labor unions are very important for the workers. They represent the workers. They fight for you to get higher wages, better like benefits and things like that. So the fight isn't over. It's just beginning. Unfortunately, they did lose this particular round. But again, everybody that's on the ground down there said, yeah, we lost, but the fight's not over. So I'll keep you guys updated with that. And lastly, the Senate is trying to pass the PRO Act. And the PRO Act is the Protecting the Right to Organize. This is very important, even though there are laws in place already against organizations intimidating workers to stop them from unionizing. This PRO Act will make it clear and enforce the laws even more on corporations. Because again, Amazon spent millions of dollars to stop these people from unionizing. And you got to think about that.
Right.
The people on the ground didn't have millions and millions of dollars. They didn't have access, to the best lobbyists, if you will, to represent them and be like, yo, y'all need to unionize.
Right.
But that's just some of the cheap tactics. Amazon did it blatantly. They knew no one was going to enforce it, so they did it anyway. With this act, they would be enforced. So again, I'll have links to all of this. But yeah, that's all I got. Anything you want to say to close out the show to kind of wrap things up?
Sure. So I just want to say, if you guys did not see Lieutenant, what is his name? Nazario's, that video of him being stopped, maybe watch it. Maybe have your children watch it if you have children that are driving or in cars with their friends, because it really was a master class lesson in what to do with an overzealous police officer from start to finish. Drive to a well-lit area. Put your hazards on. He did have a gun because he is military. So that drive gave him a chance to get that. If you got an illegal gun, I don't know. This ain't for you. I'm not talking to you.
We ain't talking to you.
Right. He got a chance to put that gun somewhere and take out probably his information, because you don't want to have a gun in a glove box and then have to take your information out of the glove box, because then they think that you're reaching for something. So have your stuff on your seat or somewhere where it can be reached. He set up his video to record. He kept his hands out of the window. You know, they holler a lot of, your hands up, unfasten your seatbelt, get out the car, put your hands on your head, touch your toes. Like, just, you're going to get all kinds of stuff. You just keep your hands out there. And just like he says, I'm afraid to get out. He actually told him, you take my seatbelt off. Like, cause he knew if he went to touch that seatbelt, he probably would have been shot, because the guy is going to say, I thought he was reaching for something. And then Nazario actually has a gun in the car. So, like, you know, it was a master class, you know. Have your sons watch it, your daughters too.
Keep your hands out. Yo, I'm not moving my hand. And say that.
Right.
Say that. Like, yo, I am scared for my life.
You open the door, you do everything. Exactly.
You do everything.
Right.
My hands is right here.
Right.
I'm not moving. Like, they can't be mad at you for that. And if they get mad, oh well, like, eventually they're gonna have to come and do that anyway.
Right.
To protect yourself. Yo, you come over, you want me out the car, you come over here, you unbuckle my belt, my windows down, you do that.
Right, I'm just gonna keep my hands right here.
I can right here,
I can reach up to the hood if you want.
Right. Right. Like, I do not trust you guys. I don't, and that's so sad, because again, there are good apples out there, but we don't see them. All we see is Facebook groups of racist police saying the N-word and saying hateful speeches, and like, oh, I wish I could have did this. Like, that's all we're seeing.
Right.
All we're seeing is police officers on TV shooting innocent people, shooting unarmed black men, not being held accountable. So I don't see any good apples.
Right.
You know, maybe because they're getting fired, like what Miss Knowledge was talking about, the lady from earlier who stopped her partner from choking out a black person. You know, maybe they're getting fired like that. But I just don't see it. We need the injustices that we face every day is insane. Like, we're all gonna need therapy and have someone to talk to.
It's true. It's true.
Like, but we have to stay vigilant. We can't give up hope. We can't let them win. Our voices are being heard. Again, like I said last week, with prime example with Georgia, they tried to set these laws so black people can't vote. They're making it harder. Why? Because we spoke up. When we come together as one, regardless if we're black, white, if we come together as a people, we're united. Our voices matter. The MLB is not in Georgia no more.
Right.
Will Smith got his movie out of there.
Right. Like, you know, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for the people of Georgia, but you know, it's easy for me to say there's got to be some sacrifice, but there's got to be sacrifice. Even if that happened here, I think I would still be like, no, it's good, because it's got to be, they got to learn. We got to hit them where it hurts at this point. You know, you got hundreds of businesses that are saying, no, we're not for this, which is interesting, because I think actually Amazon was like, we're not for that. They're not for unions, but they definitely aren't for the Republicans doing what they're doing either. Like,
right. You know, it's wow. we definitely have to stay vigilant. Again, our voices matter.
Yeah,
they matter because we're getting changes. You know, when we come together and we unite in a common goal, we get the change that we want.
Yes,
you know,
we do.
It's positive. And you know what? Mitch McConnell can be angry all he wants. The Republicans can be angry all they want. But they set the system this way. And the people, we're noticing, yo, if you want to make change, what's the thing that affects them the most, they pockets.
Right.
Hit them in their pockets.
Right.
Mitch McConnell, you and the Republican Party made it legal for corporations to make donations. You did that.
Right.
So what does in turn that means? We, the people, can force them
Right.
to do what we want,
right,
because we're affecting their pockets.
Right.
It's
Their
all about
bottom
money.
line. Right. Exactly.
Their bottom line. And
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell and the Republican Party made the system like
Right.
that. That's why he said in
Right.
the speech, don't get into politics, but donations are okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
Fuck out of here. That's the game you want to play.
Exactly.
That's why MLB and
Right.
Will Smith got out of there.
Yeah.
You know, and again, it's unfortunate because there are people on the ground, the regular people, the citizens who work in the movie industry,
Right.
you know, who work in the sports industry,
Right.
who, you know, the people who pass out the peanuts, people who collect the tickets, you know, the people in the parking lots with the yellow coats telling you where to park. Everybody, those people won't be able to make a job.
Right.
Won't be able to have a job. Why?
Right.
Because you got racist people in Georgia setting rules that, like, bro, come on, it's 2021.
Right.
But hey, that's the game you want to play. Then we're going to affect your pocket.
That's right.
That's right. Your pocket.
Right. That's the bottom line.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. That's all I got for tonight.
Me too.
I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Come back next week. We have a awesome special guest. We'll have more about that.
Is that next week or the week after? I'm so confused with the dates now because it's.
Hold on one second. I will let you know. Actually, I think it is
the week after.
The week
right?
after.
The 29th.
Yeah, so it's the week after, the 29th. So come back next week. We're gonna have a great show. But definitely come back on the 29th. We definitely got an awesome special guest in the building. He will be, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But come back next week in the 29th.
Right.
Again, we love y'all. Stay safe.
Bye-bye. Have a good weekend, everyone.